My name is Anna Brazier. I'm a sustainable development consultant. I have a BSc in ecology and a Master's in sustainable development. I've worked in Zimbabwe since the early 90s, and my work has really been involved with NGOs, supporting NGOs who work with small-scale farmers in Zimbabwe, helping communities to adopt sustainable land use management practices and also to improve their nutrition. And in recent years I've got more into looking at climate change adaptation, because that's become a very pressing problem that farmers are trying to deal with in Zimbabwe. I was very privileged to be involved with production of a book on climate change for policymakers, and I've also been involved with producing a number of booklets to raise awareness about climate change, and quite a lot of work in supporting journalists so that they can write about climate change and cover climate change through the media. And we've got different levels of authorities in the world. We've got the international global governments, we've got governments of developing countries, we've got organizations of governments such as the International Panel on Climate Change and the Conference of Parties. We've got our national authorities, so we've got our national government, and then we've also got our local authorities. So all of these people have responsibilities to develop policies at different levels, and all of these people are should be responsible and should be trying to develop policies at different levels. So if we look at our national government in Zimbabwe, we actually have very good climate change policies which are very much geared towards climate justice. These policies are supposed to be implemented by local authorities, so they're supposed to be implemented by the district authorities, and there are structures that have been set up to help the district authorities to implement these policies. The problem is that having good policies is not enough. It's actually making sure that the policies are implemented that is very, very important. And this is where in Zimbabwe things don't go so well, mainly because the different levels of authorities don't have the resources to implement the policies much as they would like to implement them. Also because of other things like legal frameworks, often policing is not being done to make sure that people comply with the requirements of the policies. So for example, one of the main issues is protection of natural resources. Protection of natural resources is very, very crucial in order to address climate change and to help communities adapt. But unfortunately our natural resources are not being protected. They're being very much abused by many different bodies, including community members, private sector, some cases the local authorities, and no one is really policing this, no one is really clamping down on this. Civil society is trying to bring these issues out in the open, the media is trying to expose them, but none of this is enough. We need to have a concerted effort where everyone makes the authorities accountable, and communities also make themselves accountable for protection of their natural resources. That's just one example. So there are good policies in place, but they're just not being implemented.